Are you having troubles with regret? Is there anything in life that maybe you did that you really regret you did? Or maybe it's something that you didn't complete and you didn't follow through on and you didn't do and you really regret that. Today I want to talk about regret and how it can be really toxic and really, really deeply affect us in our lives, because it's something that's just deep down at our core that we can't seem to let go of, and no matter what we do, it's just always kind of there, and it pops up and reminds us, that we regret this thing. And it shapes the way we live our lives. It shapes the way we feel about ourselves. It creates core beliefs that we don't feel good enough. It creates shame within us where we feel bad about ourselves. And we don't feel worthy maybe of good things because this deep regret that we can't seem to let go of. And it's just always there, and it's toxic. So I want to talk about that today, and I want to talk about a little bit of a solution of something that we could do to perhaps let it go. My name is Arnie Peterson from Awareness and Health. I'm a mindfulness-based counseling hypnotherapist from Victoria, BC. I work with people online and in person to work through these kinds of things, these deep emotional scars, these old traumas that are stuck within us. Now, I had a regret years ago that when I was younger, I really wanted to do bass fishing and make videos and shows and things like that. And I fished a lot. This is going back a long time now. And I was filming videos, and I was actually doing a whole series of videos, and I hired a friend to do the filming for me, and I spent a lot of money back then, all the money that I had for a while, on the filming equipment and everything to do that. And I had some really incredible videos. And then I needed to get to the editing process, and I didn't follow through. I didn't do it. And I wanted to be a fishing guide as well, and I didn't follow through with that. I sort of researched them both a little bit, and the next steps were just nowhere near as fun as the fishing and making the videos. Anyway, they just got stuffed away in a box. And years later, when I just wasn't interested in doing that anymore for a long time, and fishing wasn't my thing anymore. And but I was going through this box of all these really expensive editor tapes of all this really great video footage of everything I was teaching on filming, bass fishing. And I just had this huge, deep regret that I didn't follow through on one of my dreams. And I vowed to myself, I'm not going to be here, 10 years later in the future, looking at some unfinished dream that I didn't fulfill and having these regrets. I refused to do that. So I vowed that I'm going to remember this forever. And instead of thinking about it and regretting it, like so many other things I had regrets for in life as well, I'm going to use that feeling to help me, to remind me and go, change. This means change. I'm going to change the way I look at it. Whenever I remind myself of that, whenever I feel that regret, I'm going to let myself know, okay, I need to follow through with my goals and my dreams now and complete them. And this really, really helps because it reminds me of how I'll feel in the future, and I'm not willing to do that to myself again. So I made that commitment. Now, if this is about doing something, saying something to somebody, damaging a relationship, something you regret. Now, it could be a relationship where you said some things happened, and then you just never talk to the person anymore, or something like that. We can go back where we, a lot of times, and talk to the person and really express how we felt. Maybe it's just not possible anymore. Maybe they're gone, or you live somewhere else, but we can look in ourselves and say, okay, I didn't do a very good job back then, but this is really eating at me at the core. And I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel regret about myself with my actions anymore. And so we can spend some time and sit with ourselves and say, okay, that wasn't a very good job, but what could I do better now to keep myself from saying something like that or doing something like that? Is there somebody now that I could follow through with so I don't build up some regret with that? And I'm going to vow to make a new action and a commitment to myself to live my life in a way where I don't have any more regrets. And I'm going to forgive myself and let that go. And just sit with it a little bit perhaps, and then maybe we can do a little ceremony to say, okay, there's this regret. I'm going to do something to symbolize letting this go, some action that I do to let it go. And maybe we can take something that symbolizes the regret, put all of the pain in it, sit with it, remember the experience, go into the feeling of the regret, and then say, okay, I'm going to put this into this symbol of the regret, and I'm going to take this symbol, and I'm going to take it out in the forest, and I'm going to dig a hole, and I'm going to bury it, and I'm going to let nature take it from there. I'm going to give it up and let nature take it over and take it off my hands. And a lot of times doing this works really, really well. And we can imagine in our mind afterwards that a beautiful tree or something grows in its place where we buried it or where we placed it in the sand or whatever we did with it. And then we fill that space with, okay, this is where I want to go now so I don't build any more regrets. I want to become a person and work on doing things, living in such a way that I don't have regrets. And I'm going to catch myself and go, okay, there's that thing, rather than opening my mouth and saying that thing, or maybe I say that thing and then, oh, I made a mistake. I need to go apologize or talk to that person. I need to make it right. So I feel good in my heart and I feel good about this. And so we're able to set this intention moving forward so we don't have this regret again in the future. And that forgiveness, when we've let that go, that opens up the new opportunity to set in place what we're going to do next, how we're going to live from growing and learning from the experience. And once we've created some good from it, it's so much easier to let it go. We feel so much lighter. We just feel so much better. So I really hope you've enjoyed this. And a lot of times old stuck emotions are really, really hard to deal with, especially regret like that. But we can move through it. And if this helps, wonderful. But if you still feel you need some help, below in the link, there is a free mindfulness series on my website that I have that'll help you. It's a series of videos that you can do a bunch of work. I guide you through it to help you. It's absolutely free, no sign up required. It'll help you move through these kinds of emotions to process these old wounds, these old hurts, these old traumas, to be able to let them go and then be more in the present and be able to handle your emotions here and now in the moment. And to be with life now rather than being stuck with, we're in the moment and there's the old energies of these regrets stuck, and we're looking at the moment through the lens of these old regrets, and that's no fun, and that just really eats at us. So I really, again, hope you enjoyed this video and the program. The link is below to go do that. I think you'll really, really like it if you like mindfulness things and you want to learn how to be with what you feel and process your emotions and move forward and create positive change. I think you'll get a lot from it. So I wish you an absolutely wonderful rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.